Welcome back to Film Buff Bros, and in this episode, we're going to choose what is our best 1980s Brian De Palma film.
Oh yeah, lots to choose from.
Besides Scarface.
Yeah,
Scarface is pretty much my favorite. I don't know, it's very non-Brian De Palma. Like it does kind of have that romance in it, but it's a little more comedic than his other films, the way Tony Montana acts. And yeah, it feels a little more action film-esque than his others, which are more neo film noir. For me, I narrowed it down to 3. It was either going to be Body Double, Blowout, or Dress to Kill. And I was really on the fence with all of them. At first, I thought it was going to be Dress to Kill. Then I thought it was going to be Body Double. And I've decided it's Blowout. And for me, the reason is it is a little more like an action film. There's less romance in it. I like the scoring a little better. And having a character like John Lithgow's character in it just throws a monkey wrench into it. He's just so like batshit crazy. And I like John Travolta's performance in it. I thought he's just really like got this one-track mind focused on solving the mystery. Kind of similar to Body Double, but in Body Double, I think, can't remember that actor's name. He gets sidetracked with his love interest and his acting career. And I don't know, he's very, for lack of a better word, like beta kind of. And Dress to Kill is really cool too, but yeah, it starts really slow, and then the kid with the gadgets kind of thing, just not as like focused as Blowout. And I feel the same way about Body Double. It's just not as like, it doesn't have like as great of pace and like directional for like, you know, solving the mystery as Blowout. So Blowout is my number one Brian De Palma's 80s film.
Yeah, and that's a close one for me too. I picked Body Double, but Blowout has great pacing in it, amazing cinematography, great music, acting pretty darn good. So it has all the hallmarks of De Palma, and it was made right before he did Scarface. So I think he was really in that time, from actually maybe even from Obsession to even his later work like Raising Cain, Black Dahlia, that he was constantly trying to find his own voice within the landscape of like the Hitchcockian sort of film. But he also liked violence, and he liked sex a lot, and he got a lot of crap for his movies. So I'm picking Body Double because he said this, that it's almost like a love letter or a slap in the face to Hollywood. You know, it takes place on a Hollywood set, and there's a great mystery in it, and there's a lot of self-awareness in the film, which, you know, brings the humor out in the film. You have great side actors, all the side actors that were involved. And I didn't see like the ending coming, like, because, you know, it's just like this makeup that you watch it the second time, you kind of, oh, how did I not see that coming? But yeah, he holds the film even as a sort of beta character. And it's just a great like Hitchcockian homage. It was the first, he wanted to have the first like unsimulated sex scene in the movie. Like De Palma just was always trying to push the barriers. And he said, if they're going to call me this over violent guy and criticize me for Scarface and misogyny and stuff, I'll just go and do it. And he did that with Raising Cain in 93. He just totally mocked himself.
It was unsimulated? He actually had sex with...
No, the studio said no.
Oh, that's what he wanted though.
Yeah, he wanted it to be like Caligula or something like this. But again, all the hallmarks, the crane shots, the music, the pacing, the humor, the score. Yeah, it hits on all cylinders for me. Love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Like for me, that would probably be my number 2. Like, yeah, and then Dress to Kill, my number 3.
But then you have Casualties of War, which is great. You know, some great parts to it.
Oh no, for sure. No, I absolutely love it. It's just, it's not. It's kind of like Scarface. It's not that like De Palma. It doesn't seem like that. Very much unique. I mean, it's very cool with like the ant. What do you call it? An ant hive kind of look, yeah. where Michael J. Fox is hanging, his feet are hanging in the Viet Cong tunnel, and it has like that side view. Yeah. Very cool cinematography, great performances. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, it's just it's a sad story, and I like the film, but it just doesn't seem De Palma, you know?
Yeah, you know what? He really defined the 80s. His films look 80s. He really captured and like solidified like the 80s. And there's just so like the palm trees are in Body Double too, just like Scarface. And he's always like tying his movies in together. But I think his movies really personify the 80s. They're super rewatchable too. So yeah,
I feel like we're analyzing like his neo-film noir movies of the 80s. You know, like the Scarface, awesome. Casualties of War, awesome. Untouchables, pretty
good parts. Yeah,
quite good. Yeah, you know, good parts to it. But none of those films, like he just seemed like he was like the it director of the 80s. He was the guy, you know, like who people wanted to have their movie. And what was that other one in the 90s? Mission Impossible, right? Like he was just so big during that era. But and I think we're both kind of focusing on the movies that really defined him as a director, the movies that he really wanted to do, not movies that he was going in just for the paycheck, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I would say Dress to Kill, recommend it. Blowout, recommend it. Scarface, obviously recommend it. And Body Double. And that's a great start to start your De Palma, you know, experience, I would say.
And then go all the way back to
Hi Mom, like, you know.
Hi Mom and Wedding Party and
Absolutely,
Greetings.
man. Yeah, he was always taking huge risks.
He's a director where you kind of want to work your way backwards in his catalog.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Hi Mom, you got to, that's just,
oh my gosh.
I mean, you talk about pushing the barriers.
Yeah, man. No, if you like De Niro, like, you have to see those. Yes. All right, so that is our episode of Film Buff Bros for this week. Tune in next week and like, subscribe, and leave a comment for the algorithm. And take care of yourself.
Thanks for watching. Be good.
Welcome back to Film Buff Bros. And in this week, we're going to be deciding what... Welcome back to Film Buff Bros. And in this episode, we're going to be comparing Brian De Palma... Welcome back to Film Buff Bros. And in this episode, we're going to choose what is...